Oh my god, guys, we're live. Alright, so considering this is the first one, I'm going to just show you what I'm doing here. Right now I have my broadcaster set up so you can see my entire monitor. So I'm going to have the bout on YouTube right here. I'll be playing it, it'll be full screen. I'm recording the audio using Audacity, which you see right here. As you can see, it's recording. I am going to do a little bit of editing. I promise it won't be enough to actually correct mistakes. That's not why I'm doing this. But I'm recording the audio separately because balancing it here in the broadcaster itself is a pain. So this way, I'll be able to adjust the relative volume of the bout itself and me talking. So hopefully that way things will be a little bit smoother to do. I might also hit this audio with a bit of noise reduction just so that hiss in the background is less annoying. But with that said, let's get into this bout. Okay, I'm going to go full screen here, and I'm going to slightly adjust the settings. I'm going to go to here. I'm going to go to properties. Okay, looks like we're good. So if I start this... Hey, we have audio. Awesome. I'm going to... Oh, shoot. Okay. Alright, guys, we're good. I'm just going to turn the volume down for me so I can hear myself talking over the bout. And here we go. On the left is Race Imboden of the United States. On the right is Valerio Aspromonte of Italy. And we're just going to drop in the cold. This will be totally freestyle. 3, 2, 1, and begin. Okay, so if you want to know about Race, one person to talk to would be the Face of Fencing. I'm going to put a link to his YouTube channel. Alright, first of all, we have Aspromonte coming out with a pretty withheld attack, Imboden counterattacks, nothing too major. Seeing as this is pretty early in the bout still, we'd expect mostly reconnaissance here. Aspromonte is definitely being more aggressive right now, though. So one thing to look for, Race does like these infighting touches behind the back, but that's mostly just showing off. He's going to march. Now you notice when he marches, he does this big sweeping blade thing from 4 to 8, 4 to 8. Pretty typical of a lefty because you want to worry about the flank. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So, core there. I don't think it was enough to warrant a yellow card. Ref is just going to put them back on guard. Aspromonte is someone who, because he wasn't at Rio, I haven't really talked about him a lot. He's just a pretty typical Italian for the most part. He does like these remises sort of thing. Imboden steps in with Preem, and core happens again. Again, early in the bout, we're mostly just trying to see what the other person's doing. Although these two have fenced each other quite a bit, so I imagine they'll be fairly comfortable, and we'll start seeing their real actions very shortly. Race with point in line. Again, Aspromonte steps in with a beat attack. I believe the call was remise, although I couldn't make a case for a counter parry riposte with Preem as he steps in. But yeah, it does look like Aspromonte is definitely the more aggressive of these two. Although Race, as we all know, has got a pretty strong attack of his own. Aspromonte does like this off-the-line situation as well. He keeps on marching. How are you going to finish, though? Okay, Race gets a parry riposte. Aspromonte acknowledges the touch. That was very nice by Race. Again, with lefties, you've got to worry about the flank. Race was using parry 4 there, so it might be a potential point of weakness. Aspromonte making a nice attack, finishes it. That was not enough of a stop for the referee to give it attack no, attack touch. So, 1 light for, or sorry, 2 lights. See, I'm already making mistakes, guys. You guys in the comments, you have to call me out really hard for every single mistake I make. That's the only way this is going to get better faster. Alright. So let's talk strategy here. Because, again, Aspromonte is definitely being more aggressive. Race has got this parry riposte. Asks for a video review before the referee even makes his call. That's not very good form, but you know. So anyway, Race's parry riposte is very strong. Aspromonte, there's a number of solutions he can try and find. He could try and go indirect. He could try and just go even more withheld than he has been. There's a beat attack and parry riposte for Race. I can't really see the lights very well down here. It's a little annoying. Alright. Again, Aspromonte likes to attack. Race is totally fine with this. His parry riposte has been very successful so far. Now, this tempo of parry riposte... Oh, okay. So, the referee calls it Aspromonte's attack because Race took the blade, it looked like, and then stepped back, and his riposte was not immediate. I don't know what Aspromonte is arguing here. Perhaps he was arguing that it was in fact Aspromonte's beat, not Race's parry, but I don't really see that. I see it as Race's parry. Maybe the riposte was late. I don't know. Let's see. He calls it attack touch. So that suggests that Race did not parry, and it was Aspromonte's beat. Okay, so it looks like this referee is going to be pretty conducive to Aspromonte's attacks that we saw. Again, these are pretty long attacks. He's not waiting for a very long time to finish in close, because Imboden has got very nice infighting. You do not want to end up too close to him, as we see there. He's easily able to stay alive with the blade as he's stepping in. Again, Race is totally fine just letting Aspromonte attack. He likes this parry riposte. Now he starts, nice pause there with his feet to get Aspromonte to come in, and then finishes his attack in 4 with the flick. It's a very critical line for lefties. It's something that gives me a lot of trouble as a lefty. People just start preparing in 4, and you know it's coming, you search for, and they just hit right through it. Okay, now Race is being a bit more aggressive, throws the tip really hard there. Not quite sure if he was expecting to actually hit with that. It was pretty far distance for that. Aspromonte's also got a very nice parry post. Long attack there, very nice. Race knows what's up. Yeah, so Aspromonte had seen the search pattern that Race was using before. It looked like 4 down to 8 and then up to 6, and he was able to just disengage right through it, no problem. Again, at this level, you're... Oh, okay, nice beat attack from Race. At this level, you basically have to assume that your opponent is going to know after maybe 1 or 2 iterations exactly what you're going to search, or which lines you're going to search in. Bad luck there. I feel like the audio in this bout is a little bit behind the video as well. It's making it a little bit disconcerting to watch, but I don't mind. Alright. So we're 4-5, very even bout so far. Race has definitely been more successful on the defense, and Aspromonte has been more successful on the attack. He comes out again, but pulls it up. So now Aspromonte is going to try and find a way through this parry that does not involve just guessing correctly what the lines are going to be. Tries to counterattack as Race rushes. Also, I feel like Race has been rushing a bit more than he usually does with these attacks. He does like a flesh in a lot of situations, but here it's felt a bit too sudden and not really set up well. Again, Aspromonte is happy to step forward. Race is happy to give him space. Just wait for that parry post. Eventually, Aspromonte stops. Race steps in. Aspromonte sweeps Preem riposte with counter time. Tactically, it's called counter time. So he's figuring out a way to deal with Imboden at this close distance situation, which is one of the main threats that you have when you're fencing Race. Not that I would know, I've never actually fenced him. Again, trying to find a way to finish the attack. Race is very happy to just let him step in again, but again it comes back to bite him. This time, yellow card for covering. Okay, yeah, I can see that. I would like a slow motion replay to get another feel for these. This is live, things are going very fast, it's hard to keep up. But yeah, that's also going to annul the touch, because a yellow card carries with it an annulment of the touch of the fencer at fault. So although he's finding a really nice solution for Race's action, he's got to be careful that he doesn't like accidentally cheat along the way and cover target. I mean, this is a constant struggle for people in fighting. It's very easy for your arm to just get in the way. I'm sure he was not doing that deliberately. That's a remise. Okay. So again, he knows what Race's searches are going to look like, and this time he doesn't actually get through them, but he's able to just intuit what a good line is going to be to land a remise. Very nice action there from Aspromonte. Now, although I haven't watched this bout before, I do know who wins. I'm not going to spoil it. Okay, that was just being asleep by Race. Not really a good reason for that landing. I'd probably call that a beat attack in preparation. Basically, Race just steps forward, Aspromonte makes a beat attack straight into it, and Race doesn't really react in time. That's pretty indicative of just not being ready. So let's see how he's going to be able to wake up. Yeah, this audio seems out of sync with the video. Oh well. Race attacks now. Now you see he's actually preparing in a high line. That's because he knows that his flank is probably one of the safer places, actually, for Aspromonte to try and hit. He is worried about this, actually I don't know. Perhaps he's worried about Aspromonte stepping in, or perhaps he just feels safe now exposing his flank. Aspromonte hasn't really been going for it that much. Tries a flick in 4 and steps off the strip, okay. There's definitely a fight here. They're struggling for every little bit of advantage. Alright, now it's favoring Aspromonte, but no telling what Race can change. Race is quite flexible, actually, at least compared to some of the Italians. Maybe not Aspromonte specifically. Ooh, that's rough. Okay. So yeah, Race is starting his attack very nicely. Aspromonte again, I guess, just has some... His fencing senses were tingling, and he just knew that the attack was going to miss. Because I would not recommend doing that just with no information. Again, Aspromonte is very happy to attack. Race is very happy to give him space. This time, lands the second parry riposte, it looks like, not the first one. Again, Race's preem riposte is very, very deadly. Aspromonte has been able to step in against it, but again, because Race is giving him so much space, it's very hard to actually crush the distance before he can land that riposte. You saw he actually tried to at the end with the remise. Ooh, okay. So, looks like final beat attack is from the left. Definitely it's one light for him. Now, I'm not actually sure what Aspromonte was trying to set up there. It did not look like he was going for the foreflick. It looked like, if anything, he just wasn't ready for Imboden to go for the second beat attack. I don't know. Race takes the blade while marching forward. Aspromonte defends. And that is going to be time. So we're in the 1 minute break. Alright, so I finally get a chance to catch my breath. Seriously, guys, this live commentary thing is way harder than it looks. As you can probably tell, I'm kind of struggling to form coherent sentences here. So basically, the way this bout's going, Aspromonte's got a nice attack. Race has got a very nice parry riposte. Aspromonte's solution, so far, it looks like has been to step in really fast so that Race can't find it, or to just abandon his attack before he even finishes. Race's attacks have been a bit rushed in general. He's gotten some nice ones, but a lot of them were more off Aspromonte just not being ready, it looked like, than Race doing anything spectacular. The score is still pretty close. It's still definitely anyone's game. Aspromonte's got a bit of a lead, but of course you can see that on the screen. That yellow card for Aspromonte might come into play. I don't think so. Typically, if people get carded for that once, they make extra sure to not get carded in the future. But that's roughly how this bout's going. It looks like Race is just not quite on his usual form. I've definitely seen some smoother attacks from him in the past, and I know he's capable of them. He might be deciding to not pull them out yet because Aspromonte knows about them, or they might just not have occurred to him. Anyway, so this is the second period. We're going to see what changes. That's the first thing to always look for when the second period starts. What's changed? Parry riposte attempted with the step in. Again, Aspromonte is safe doing this. It's just hard to land the touch from that distance, especially now that he has to keep his arm back because the yellow card and all that jazz. Okay, Aspromonte attacks. Race is looking to parry riposte. Very nice. Parry forward riposte to the back around the front shoulder. By the way, that's a line that all you lefties and people fencing against lefties out there should use more. Not necessarily just down to the flank, but parry forward and go out and around the shoulder if he's close enough. Very nice line. Okay, attack off target there for Race. He was trying a deep 4/7 flick, kind of like Guilherme Toldo does. Aspromonte attacks. Race now Race knows he has to be more smart with this parry riposte. So he's trying a false counter. Again, it's like both of these guys know what their best actions are. It's just a case of trying to set them up properly. Because now Aspromonte is coming smart. He knows that Race isn't. He knows that Race wants to parry riposte, so Race has to do something to disguise it. Again, these attacks from Race look a little bit too fast. It's not quite as smooth as I'm used. Maybe not fast isn't the right word. Maybe it's more jerky. But he's usually a bit smoother than this, if that makes sense. Aspromonte's attack ends. Race ends. Okay. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Okay. Aspromonte basically gave a short lunge, but Race identified that the distance was correct. He didn't actually retreat there at all. He just stood there and picked him off from long distance. Oh, tries the counterattack by ducking, just to change things up. Race trying to argue that it should be no touch because he got a yellow card before the... Oh, okay, well... So, yeah, if the referee says halt before the opponent starts their action... So say you get a yellow card, the referee says halt because you got the yellow card, and then your opponent turns the light on, technically it should be no touch and just a yellow card. He does give the yellow card, and he still gives the touch, so that backfired. So... Okay, yeah, that's kind of a, like, I don't know really what to say about that. Like, you're not going to ask for a video review to get yourself carded at the risk of still getting a touch. That's like, nah. It's kind of questionable meta move there. But again, this is Race Imboden. He's dealt with worse than 8-10 situations against this guy before. Again, Aspromonte is safe when he steps in, with this struggling for a preem remise or riposte. But Race is typically better at it. Aspromonte's solution is to step in. I've said this before, I'm going to reiterate. Aspromonte's solution is to step in. He's safe, but he's unable to turn light on himself. So this is basically a stale... Oh, wow, what? What? That's new. Okay, so I guess he covered target one too many times, and that's a red card. So Race has a yellow, Aspromonte has a red. That's a touch for Race for free. We'll see if that comes into play later. Again, it's kind of risky to go for all these stepping in situations. As you see there, he tried counter riposte. That's a different strategy than what he's going for before. But at this distance, Race's parry riposte is amazingly good. So Aspromonte has decided not to keep stepping in like he has, because the threat of a card is too high. And again, Race is still very good at that situation. It's more of a toss-up than anything. But again, his counter riposte from longish distance is very easy for Race to deal with just by a very nice parry riposte of his own. I would call that beat attack right anyway, not parry riposte from Race. Although I did see what he was trying to do. Aspromonte was taking the blade at the right time. Okay, so this is a very interesting bout so far. I'm glad to the guy who suggested it. I'll shout out you in the comments or in the description of this video. Beat attack, again, just looks a little bit rushed from Race. Aspromonte's counterattack is off target. I'm liking Race on the defense way more than the offense in this bout. Okay, again, this audio being a little delayed is kind of throwing me off. Alright, so how is Aspromonte going to change things now? Because that counter riposte was shut down very hard. Let's see what the call is. Oh, Aspromonte thinks it's beat attack. The referee thought it was parry riposte from Race. Yeah, that seems like a good video, because I'm not totally convinced either way. Again, I'm not an FIE level referee, but that looked like a bit of a toss-up decision. Oh, okay. Attack no. Or attack parried or something. So we're at 11-11. 1 minute 36. Now Race looks a bit happier. You can see he's kind of bouncing. A happy Race is a bouncing Race in general. Oh, that is nice. Flying parry preem riposte. It's kind of like Meinhardt with the flying flick to the back, but Race has his flying preem riposte. But yeah, now you can see he's quite a bit happier. He's more relaxed, better on his feet. His back arm's flopping. You can tell he's... Oh, there's a nice attack. That was smoother. So that's the type of attack that I'm more used to seeing from Race. Sadly, it was off target. But contrast that with all the previous attacks he's done where he's sort of jerkily like scuttled forward and then ended with a flesh. Kind of by default. So yeah, now he looks much better. And we'll see what Aspromonte is going to try to do. Again, struggling with the preem riposte. He's getting into the distance safely. It's just a question of turning on a light. Aspromonte attacks. Tries to flick over the back. That was a very nice idea. Sadly, did not pan out. Beat attack Race off target. Somehow, I don't know how he missed that. But as I said before, you can see just how smooth his footwork is all of a sudden. Really need to wonder if you're Aspromonte how you're going to deal with this new Race that's being thrown at you. Because these attacks, one of them is going to land eventually. I guess lucky counterattack works. I don't know the call there. Looks like beat attack in preem by Race, no. Counterattack right, rise. So we're at 12. But again, it's not really like Aspromonte's finding a good solution here. It's more just he's gotten lucky a few times. That was a nice touch. Race wants that. Honestly, if your opponent's already on a red card, you might do that, but that's a bit... Oh my god, okay. Language, sorry. It did not look like a head parry to me, but it was pretty quick, and I may have missed it. Oh, really? Another red card for Aspromonte. Okay. So Race clearly a much better meta strategist than I am. I did not identify that. But given that Aspromonte was already on a red card, these are starting to add up now. That's 2 touches, and at this close to 15, you really need to avoid that. And again, it looks like all these are coming from Aspromonte trying to crush the distance really fast that he's getting carded. And that's been his only saving grace against Race's really good defensive game so far. Beat attack left for Race. And again, you can see just how smooth he is. I know I'm hammering this quite a bit, but this is a totally different Race than we saw at the beginning of this bout. So we've got 1 touch left. Let's see how it happens. Very nice stop hit. All the Americans really like stop hit on the last touch for some reason. But anyway, that's going to be the bout. 15-12, Race over Aspromonte. He's going to go on to finish in the top 8, I believe, of this World Cup, if I remember correctly. And yeah, this was my first ever live commentary as the video ends. So with that, I'm going to stop my recording and wish you all the best and stay sharp, guys.